Welcome to the iRogya Wellness Podcast, your quick guide to a healthier life. In each episode, we'll explore practical tips and insights to help you on your journey to optimal health and well-being. Let's dive in.
Wow, you really outdid yourself this time. This document about Puritii Water Filters and the Eau Coeur project, it's amazing.
It really shows you just how important clean water is around the world.
Absolutely. And the lengths people will go to make it a reality. So for you, what really stood out from all of this?
I think it's got to be Annie Charron's story, founding Eau Coeur. I mean, talk about making a childhood dream come true.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. So she always wanted to help people in Africa.
Yeah, ever since she was a kid, it seems like she was always drawn to that. And then fast forward, she's working in rural Quebec.
Helping communities get access to essential services.
Right, and then in 2019, she goes to Togo and sees the need for clean water firsthand. That's when everything clicked for her.
You could really feel her passion and determination just reading this document. It's contagious.
Definitely. She didn't want to just make a one-time donation or anything. She wanted to create something that would last and empower communities in the long run.
And that's how Eau Coeur was born.
Exactly. She actually started a nonprofit called La Société du Nord d'Amour et d'Eau Fraîche. And then she got her partner company involved to help distribute Puritii Water Filters in Togo.
Wait, her partner company, was this like a side project for her, or was this her full-time gig?
It sounds like she was super involved with her partner company, but at the same time, she was running this nonprofit. It's amazing how much she took on.
Yeah, that's some serious dedication. So tell me about their first mission. It seemed like it made a real impact.
Their first mission was to this town called Gapé-Zévé in November 2019. They delivered 64 Puritii water filter systems, mostly for the school kids.
That's incredible, especially since the kids usually end up sharing the clean water with their families. It's like a ripple effect.
Exactly, and they wanted to do even more than that. They talked about building a new school. Was that always part of the plan?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too.
It seems like they realized they needed a new school during that first mission, and Annie just decided to make it happen.
So what happened next? Did they go back to Togo?
They did. In the summer of 2021, they went back with even bigger goals. This time, they wanted to deliver Puritii water bottles and filters, renovate the local medical clinic, and get teenagers involved in the renovation process.
Wow, that's a pretty big jump from just providing clean water. It's like they were addressing all these different needs in the community.
Yeah, they had a really holistic approach to development, not just providing clean water, but focusing on education, healthcare, and community involvement.
And I'm guessing those Puritii water filters played a key role in all of this. How did they even work? It sounds pretty high-tech.
Yeah, they use this dual-stage filtration technology. It's activated coconut carbon and a blend of zeolite and finely ground coconut carbon. Basically, it catches all these tiny impurities.
So it's not just about making the water taste better. It's about making it safe to drink, which is huge in a place where clean water is hard to come by.
Exactly, and they're built to last, so they can provide clean water for years.
Which makes them perfect for the Eau Coeur project. They're both all about sustainability, long-term impact, and really understanding what the community needs.
That's exactly it. It's not just about technology. It's about the people, the vision, the dedication, the belief that they can create lasting change. It's amazing, right? What clean water can do for a whole community.
It's true. They always say a rising tide lifts all boats. But here, it's clean water that's lifting up the health and the hopes of this whole community. So what kind of improvements did they actually see after they started using the Puritii filters?
Oh, well, for one thing, way fewer people were getting sick from the water.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, when people aren't constantly battling illnesses, they have more energy to do other things, like go to school or work.
It's like you're removing this huge roadblock that was holding them back. Did they notice any changes in, like, school attendance for the kids?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. School attendance went up, and the kids were able to actually focus in class. Plus, when their families are healthy, they don't have to stay home to take care of sick relatives.
That's awesome. It's like a domino effect of good things happening, and it all started with clean water.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just individual people, too. The whole community benefits from better sanitation practices. When people have clean water, they're more likely to keep things hygienic, which means less disease overall.
It's a win-win for everyone. And we can't forget about the environmental benefits. These are reusable water bottles, not those single-use plastic ones that end up polluting everything.
That's a great point. Each Puritii bottle can replace thousands of plastic bottles that would have ended up in landfills or even worse in the ocean.
It really shows how much of a difference our choices can make. And it ties in perfectly with that whole movement towards sustainable living.
And the best part is Eau Coeur doesn't just stop at clean water and sanitation. They're also all about teaching people how to help themselves and take charge of their own development.
Oh yeah, they mentioned that in the document. They were getting teenagers involved in fixing up the medical clinic.
Exactly. It teaches them valuable skills and gives them a sense of pride in their community. It's about sustainability at its core. And they've also partnered with organizations like École de la Jeunesse and EEI to make sure the community has long-term support.
So it's not just a one-time fix. They're building these long-lasting relationships and working together to make a real difference. What's amazing to me is how this whole project started with one woman's dream, and now it's grown to include so many different parts of community development.
It's pretty inspiring, right? It shows what can happen when you combine vision with determination and collaboration. Annie Charron could have just donated money or sent a few water filters, but she went the extra mile to create something truly life-changing.
And it all comes back to that initial spark, that desire to make a difference in the world. It's incredible how that spark can grow into something that brings hope and opportunity to a whole community.
It makes you think, doesn't it? What kind of spark can we ignite in our own lives? What small actions can we take to create a world where everyone has clean water and a chance to thrive?
It really puts things into perspective. We hear all the time about the global water crisis, but this story makes it real. It shows how clean water can actually change people's lives.
It reminds us that there are real people behind the statistics, people whose lives are literally being transformed by something as basic as clean water.
And it's not just about surviving, it's about actually thriving. Kids can go to school and focus on their education. Families have more time and energy to pursue their goals. Communities can come together to build a better future.
It's a really inspiring vision of development.
It is. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Eau Coeur de l'Afrique project, what's the main thing you hope our listener takes away from all of this?
I'd say the biggest takeaway is that we all have the power to make a difference. It doesn't have to be some huge grand gesture. It could be as simple as using reusable products or supporting organizations that provide clean water. Even just spreading awareness about the issue can make a difference.
It's like those ripples of change we were talking about earlier. Even the smallest actions can have a big impact when we all do our part.
Exactly. And when we hear stories like Annie Charron's, it reminds us that even seemingly impossible dreams can come true with vision and determination and a belief in the power of collective action.
So to our listener, we leave you with this. What small step will you take today to help create a world where everyone has access to clean water and the opportunity to thrive?
It's something worth thinking about. And we hope this deep dive has given you the information and inspiration we need to find your own answer.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, stay curious and keep making those ripples of change.
Thanks for tuning in to the iRogaya Wellness Podcast. Remember, small steps lead to big changes. If you're curious about the products we mentioned today, you can find them all at irogaya.com. That's AIROGYA.com. And hey, use the code IROGYA15 at checkout for a 15% off discount. Please note that the code is not applicable for Europe, some parts of the Middle East, and South Africa. Until next time, keep taking those steps towards a healthier you.